What's going on, my YouTubers? So, just outside the gym and getting ready to go in, just letting the food digest a little bit. And today, I'm going to talk about letting go of bodybuilding, being a mass monster that I once was. So basically, since I was 16, 17 years old, I always wanted to become a natural pro bodybuilder. And I did natty bodybuilding for 5 years. Started off at somewhat 72 kilos or so, let's say. And 22, 23 years old, I decided to jump on hormones, steroids. So that was a new journey in itself, and almost, you could say it was an addiction too, because I never felt big enough. I was always chasing getting bigger, better. I never actually took the presence and enjoyed the ride. Maybe I did here and there, but I was always trying to chase winning, or trying to chase, being bigger, leaner, freakier than my competitors. And in the mirror, I was always still small, a bit fat. And there was a point like 2019 where I was like, oh, well, I'm pretty heavy, I'm lean, I'm starting to look like a proper bodybuilder. And, I think I've said this story once before, but it was after the Arnold Classic in Australia. 2019, I went to America to see my good friend Callum von Moger. And I just realized, I was eating 6,500 calories every day. Bodybuilding was my life from, 16 years old. I could probably count on one hand how many times I drank alcohol from when I was like 16, 17 until, I was like 28. So I was locked in, I was dedicated, and never did party stuff. And I just realized I don't want to keep eating this much food. It's becoming a burden. It's becoming a chore. The passion sort of, it died a little bit in me. And that addiction in me was like, oh, but you're going to be smaller, you're going to lose muscle, you're not going to be as jacked. And that sort of became my identity, was this jacked bodybuilder. I'd get compliments in the gym all the time, and, Instagram, whatever it is. So that's who I become. So then when I decided to let go, people in the gym were like, oh, you've lost size. What's going on? And I'm like, no shit, Sherlock. It's, I'm off, what do you call them? Cycles. I never came off. I was always on, but I'd be on like a TRT dose and then I'd blast. So I wasn't blasting anymore. So it's basically impossible to keep all your muscle mass when you're like I was, 127 kilos, 130 kilos lean, just doing TRT dose of testosterone. There's a level of hormones and food that you have to use and take to maintain. So if anyone is out there thinking, you know, you're going to stay 120 kilos, you're going to stay this, that, just doing these little, or just doing, you know, a little amount, you're dreaming. Because look at Jay Cutler, look at Dexter Jackson, look at Dorian Yates, they all come down in size. And yeah, they are going to be bigger than a natural because they've been this inflated thing, then they're coming back down. So they've built, obviously, a lot more muscle than a natural person ever could, but they're coming down to homeostasis, which is like, you know, their level. So I see some IFBB pros now saying they're retired and they're still taking like, you know, 500 to 700 milligrams of stuff. And a TRT dose is anywhere from like, you know, 125, 150 milligrams to 250 milligrams of testosterone a week. And of course you're going to hold more size using 500 milligrams, 700 milligrams a week than 150 or 250 milligrams that you're using. So I did do mini cycles like that as well. When I was fully done, I kept falling into the trap of, oh, I'll just do, you know, a little cycle of testosterone and primobolan and, you know, for instance, like 350 milligrams of test, 150 milligrams of primo with a little bit of growth hormone. And I looked great. I was lean. I had good shape. I looked aesthetic. I was strong. I felt good. But I kept coming to the conclusion that I'm not fully letting go. And that was, I had to, you know, not lie to myself and just be real. That this is a vicious cycle and an addiction that kept coming back and forward. And it's so easy just to fall into that because of body dysmorphia, or, you know, you're not getting certain attention that you once were. Or, you know, I'd walk into a room or a place and people would be like, what the fuck is that? And I was used to that. Now it's not like that. And I feel like I'm normal. I'm just a normal human with a little bit, you know, not a little bit, but more muscle than, you know, I'm like 105 kilos, 6'1", 8% body fat, give or take. So I'm still better than I would be if I was natty. Who knows how heavy, how lean I would be if I was truly natty still? I don't know. I don't regret anything. I look back on all my journey, all the good times I had, all the, you know, good things that happened, all the opportunities that came from it, and it was a pretty fun and crazy journey. A lot of memories. And another thing that did start to creep up was no health problems whatsoever, but I started to get these cysts on my head, which some of you have probably noticed. My hairline and hair is a bit fucked up, and that makes me somewhat insecure because I used to have really thick hair and a nice hairline, and I never thought I would get this. And I never had it when I was competing. Never. I never had pimples. I never had anything. The only thing I got was gynecomastia, and I got the glands removed in 2015. That was my only side effect. So I've been dealing with that. And when I used to do these little, cycles of 500 milligrams, it would flare them up more. And over the past 2 or 3 years, I've literally seen my head go from, decent hairline to like this weird hair. And I'll be honest, yeah, it does make me, what would you call it? Not insecure, but just I'm aware of it every day. And I've seen a few dermatologists, they've cut them out, and then me being an idiot, I've done a little cycle here and there and it's flared it up again. So again, this did not happen when I was competing, only that I started to get healthier that this has come, and I have done, little cycles and it's flared up even worse. So I've realized now, I've had to give this whole identity away and focus on helping others now, instead of, me flexing, being 120 plus kilos and juicy and jacked. I can now give back and help you and teach you what I've learned and what I still learn every day. I always try to learn and get better, and it's still an obsession of mine, trying to find the best methods or what is the best, and mainly for me because, I'm not using and abusing hormones anymore. I'm trying to find still ways to grow, even if I can grow just a little bit each year. That's a plus for me. But for my clients, growing in the shortest amount of time possible, putting on muscle in the shortest amount of time possible while losing body fat and still gaining some strength, this is huge. So I'll be honest, I still deal with looking in the mirror some days. I'm like, oh, I wish I was this jacked unit. And I look at people in the gym and go, I used to be there. I used to be that strong. I used to be stronger. I used to be bigger. But again, it all comes down to ego. And I think me dabbling into magic mushrooms definitely helped me get rid of this ego. It's still there, but it's dissolved quite a lot. And I've done many of trips with mushrooms. So one time I was on the magic mushrooms, and it said to me, stop taking steroids. Literally, that was the insight I got. And call me crazy, call me whatever you want, but that was the insight I had. So that's when I realized, it's time. John Connor, it's time. So that's been the journey of me once being a kid, insecure kid who was kind of skinny, fat, that got obsessed and addicted to weights, to becoming obsessed and addicted to becoming the biggest, the freakiest person, that then got humbled and realized I can't do this forever, and to be smart. I'm 34 and I pulled the pin on competitive bodybuilding in 2021. It's now 2026. So I've let my body heal since, and all my heart's fine, all my bloods are fine, everything's perfect. I'm fit. I still live the life and breathe the life. Still weigh basically all my food and count macros and all that shit. And I still live that life. I think I forever will, because it's been a part of me for so long. It's like going to the toilet. I don't even think about it. I just do it. and it's all I've known. Instead of grabbing a hot dog or a pie or a sausage roll or Macca's, I'm going to have, rice, veggies, chicken or steak, potatoes, whatever it is. So, yeah, that's been my little insight from that. From being the boy to the monster to now coming back to homeostasis somewhat. So if you're thinking about hormones, or if you're even thinking about stopping hormones and doing what I've done, coming back down to land the plane, message me, comment down below, because I feel like I'm very knowledgeable in this topic, from going huge to coming off. And honestly, my brain is a lot better. I feel better. When you're on all these hormones, you're somewhat, always stimulated. Your sleep's not the best. That's why I used to smoke weed, to just chill me out and sleep and to relax. But now I don't have that extra motor running. I feel like I'm a lot more chilled, a lot more zen, and people say, did I just smoke weed now? Because I'm not angry, I'm not on videos, I'm just, in a flat tone. I'm just cruising. People ask me, how you going? I say, I'm just cruising, because I'm just going with the flow, so yeah. Anyway, I've rambled on quite a bit. It's almost like 20 minutes I've been talking shit for. The car talk. Let me know if you want to hear more of this kind of stuff. The deep insights, buried deep insights of the sea, bodybuilding sea. Definitely going to talk more about certain topics, whether I get shadow banned or not. So thanks for listening. Comment, like, subscribe, share it, whatever. Support me. Appreciate you. Thanks a lot. Peace out. All right, guys, we're back. Sorry for the delay. I've been slack. I'm sorry. I've got all the videos filmed. I just haven't posted them. And we have the mascot of the gym, the big boy, the dog, supporting us always. So the last week on this program, so this is actually a fly press, which I thought it was a press, but it's actually a fly press. See how open the arms come? Felt pretty good, and I'm ready to move on to a new exercise in the next coming week. So here's a different angle. It's probably a better angle to see the form. So I'm breathing out, I'm exhaling before I'm lifting. That's going to push my back so my shoulders aren't retracted any bit whatsoever. It's going to flatten it straight out. Nice and steady on the way down, just to parallel, and then all the way up with a little protraction of the shoulder. Like I've said many of times, do not retract your shoulder blades. Let them move. And when you let them move and come forward a bit, you're going to get a little bit more chest activation. Even though people are scared that it's your front delt, it is fine for it to happen. Trust me on this, give it a shot, and don't be afraid to not pin your shoulders down, and welcome to the new gains. Here's a new angle. So we do 3 sets on this. Breathing out, as always, before I'm lifting. If you haven't tried that, try that. It just puts you in a better position. I used to always hold my breath and then press until I found this cue from Jonathan Warren. And it is an absolute banger. So always tension on the muscle, not on my joints, because I'm not a powerlifter. 3-second negatives, always controlling the weight. Not it controlling me. I get very good contractions and pumps in the chest. A few years ago I didn't, because I was retracting my shoulder blades and arching my back and stacking my joints and not stacking the muscle. So don't be a victim like I was. Righto. Went to a different gym 1 minute down the road, caught up with a friend. Here we are on the lateral raise machine. As you can see as well, I've protracted my scapula and pushed my shoulders forward. So it's all tension on the side delt. And if you notice too, I'm trying to reach out as far as I can, like I'm touching the walls. I'm not just moving the weight up and down. I'm literally just reaching out to the side. Set number 2. I find if I hold these handles, it gives me a bit of shoulder niggle, unless I do it one arm at a time. So right now I'm just trying to have pain-free workouts, and this is what's going on, and this is the way it's working. And the way I'm doing it on this machine actually feels really good, and you cannot cheat. Cannot shrug or move. I'm just, chest is on the pad and we're going. Righto, 3rd exercise. It's basically a push day because I don't care about my legs. Legs grow really quick, so they only get 1 set twice a week. I'm a really big fan of this tricep machine. You can brace, the stability's there, hits the long head well. Stability is king for overloading. Pump's always great. And yeah, overall, I just really enjoy doing this machine, and it's always one of my staples. I've got like 4 exercises for triceps I just rotate through. So one block I might do 2, and then the next block I might do the other 2. And I always do my weak side first. So that is my left side. And even if my right side can get more reps, I'm going to match it, or I'm going to make it harder by just slowing it down a little bit. So symmetrical asymmetry is the goal in bodybuilding. And I'm pretty OCD. I do not want one arm bigger than the other, or one calf bigger than the other, or one lat, or one pec. So I try to make it equal. My left arm is probably like 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch smaller. And I think that's got to do with my shoulder niggle that I've had, because when I was doing triceps or biceps or lats, for instance, yeah, my shoulder would give out like this pinching nerve kind of pain, and it would just shoot down. But now that's fixed, and we're just trying to build momentum.